Hi, Jeremy Oliver here from Cellar Space TV, standing at the Gertrude Street Enoteca in Fitzroy, Melbourne, one of my favourite wine bars. And what I'm doing right now is just looking at the Nebbiolo wines from a particular Yarra Valley producer which is called Suma. They have a 100% Nebbiolo. These are $50 wines, these two. This is 100% Nebbiolo 2016 vintage, so straight varietal. And just contrasting that to a sort of tricky blend they've made because we don't have any rules in Australia to stop us doing these things, so people experiment. So this is a Syrah or Shiraz, Cabernet and Nebbiolo. It's called The Butcher, 2018 vintage. 16 and 18, similar seasons, warm, early, ripe and juicy. So this first one, the Nebbiolo, it's now opening up in the bottle. It's been poured now about 15-20 minutes, and with Nebbiolo, you want this sort of earthy, floral, spicy, musky fragrance. It just is getting better. I'm getting cherries, red berries, a little bit of dried fruit undertones, citrus peel perhaps. Really fresh and intense. It's getting better every minute. Long palate, love it. Front of the mouth all the way down. Even and textural, bright, juicy red fruits, a citrusy undertone again, fine drying, powdery tannins, fresh acids. That's a lovely varietal Nebbiolo. What would I give it? Probably a silver medal, so be around about 90, 91 points out of 100. Good wine. Now the alternative, as I say, is this blend of Shiraz, Cabernet and Nebbiolo. Much, much deeper colour. I mean, this looks like a traditional Australian red rather than one that has had any Italian influence, but here we go. Yeah, bright, juicy, it's pastel jujube fruit, really intense, slightly minty, black currant, red currant, blueberry, dark plum, bit of chocolatey oak underneath. Lots happening, very floral too. That could possibly be a little bit of Nebbiolo lifting that. Yeah, juicy, medium bodied, vivacious palate, really mouth-filling, fine dusty tannins, and perhaps I'm getting this little bit of cola, dried herb, citrus at the finish, which is possibly the Nebbiolo doing its thing as the full stop in this wine. So what do I think of the two of them? I think firstly this one, if you're wanting an Australian Nebbiolo, Suma is becoming a really good maker, one of the up-and-coming makers of this grape. It's been around Australia now for about 15 years or so, whereas this wine here, yes, it's got Nebbiolo in it, but don't really look at it if you're wanting something of that European style. It's sort of almost got a foot in the old world, but it's generally a ripe, juicy, fresh, well-made Australian red of some class. And I'd give that probably a similar score, around about a 90 out of 100. So silver medal each. So just to finish then, the straight Nebbiolo if you want something more European and savoury, and the Butcher if you want something a little bit more traditionally Australian with an Italian twist.